Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this happy-go-lucky world. Welcome to another edition of New York by Night. I begin the title with New York by Night simply because, yes, this is the living world of darkness, but we're going to focus on a particularly disturbing aspect of the world of darkness, and I thought that the word night more capitalizes the situation we find ourselves in. We find ourselves in the Thanatos Chantry. We find ourselves with the good death. We find ourselves talking about the good death and the fact that each member of this chantry has been given yet another name from a mysterious benefactor, from a mysterious dictator. Another name goes by the name of Caroline Mytharther, the apparent wife of the last name that they were given. Jericho, for his part, is simply leaning against one of the counters of the kitchen, looking at the name, cursing himself.
Cecil will just be sitting beside Jericho. It's weird, but Cecil spent most of his time near Jericho, and he's over one of the counters with a packet of cookies in one hand and the name on the other. Really, Fate? Last time we could have done a double, and I would have this week totally free, and then you do this to me. Thank you.
You see Dimi walk in, just playing with his knife, in his pajamas. Be like, I've got good news and I've got bad news. What do you want to hear first?
One of those doesn't relate to murder.
Nope. They both relate to murder.
Okay, let's start with the lesser murder, and then let's work our way to the bigger murder.
Okay, Jericho, remember that picture that Sam showed us a couple of days ago?
The one with the gaping maul marks with the woman eaten? Yeah?
Yep. Went to a bar last night, found out who did it.
Oh, fuck. Really? Which one? Who? Why?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
What? Werewolves?
I have my eyes open. There's not a lot of things that you can tell me that I won't disbelieve right off the bat.
It was a fairy.
Fairies don't do that. Have you ever read the Green Brothers?
Fairies sometimes do that, but why?
Because apparently one of them had a really violent awakening, or whatever they do when they figure out they're fairies. And I talked with Giles McClelland, the owner of Giles's bar, and he took full responsibility for solving that case and making sure that cases like that don't happen ever again. Apparently he's the only fairy I met so far with whom you can actually reason with.
So, how should we act over that?
We tell Sam we found the murder and there's no need to be scared because there's no technocracy involved. We go on with our day. And now for the bad news. You see Dimi, and you see Dimi reaching for the pocket of his pajama pants and pulling out an envelope. Guess what the cat dragged in?
Yeah. He waves, Cecil will wave his envelope. Amazing.
You see Jericho go ahead and put his head into his hand, just sort of shake it. We fucked up.
Dimi puts his knife back into its sheath and puts it on the table. No, we didn't fuck up. She fucked up. And like her husband, she needs to go on the wheel.
The only thing that man or that woman ever did was have good intentions. We fucked up because we didn't figure out why that man was poisoned to the wheel.
No, we
So
didn't
the
fuck up.
wife just went ahead and picked up the work afterwards to
No,
fuck
no,
And
over
no,
the.
no, 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 no. We did our work. He needed to die. He died. Now fate has decided that she needs to die. I know it's horrible, but she needs to
Jericho just goes
die.
ahead and grabs you by the scruff of your neck, right at your shirt line, and says, "Do you know what you're saying right now? Do you know? Do you know
Yes,
what you're
yes,
saying?
I
That
know.
is
Be
not a
careful.
fucking
Be,
name. That is
be
not just a
careful.
fucking name.
Hey, hey,
That
hey!
that
My
that
cookies!
that
Oh,
that was a wife. That is still a mother. That
I,
is the matriarch
whoa,
of a fucking
whoa!
household. That is a fucking family that we're ruining."
Archangel will grab Jericho by the scruffle of his own shirt and shake him a little bit and give him a couple of slaps. You are a new Thanatos. Start behaving like one.
He'll just go ahead and shove you off. I do. I didn't
My,
stop you.
and Dimi
I didn't
just
stop you
stands
the
up.
last.
Dimi just stands up and goes between you guys, just putting his hands out like, okay, when you start fighting, ladies, we can go and do our job. Assam is right. We need to do our job. And he's right on a second point as well, Jericho. You need to behave more like one of us. I know she was a mother. Actually, she's a mother. I know she's a wife. But she's poison to the wheel.
She's
She's
also a
not.
widow now.
She's also gonna be dead in the next couple of hours.
Azazel will look at Jericho and go like, I know she's a mother. I lost my mother to the wheel. Maybe I was I was extremely young and I did not understand it. Uh, so I did a lot of weird things when I was younger, but yeah, I didn't get it first. I still don't get it, but I have stopped questioning it. The
Yeah.
wheel asked for her.
God's help you guys if my mom ever decides to pay us a visit and sees that we don't do our work.
Your mother
I'm
was
all
also one of
for
us?
pushing the wheel. I really am. I'm all for pushing the wheel. But getting a second name from the same household tells me that I did something wrong.
You did
Well,
nothing wrong, and to answer your question, Hassan, yes, all my family are Euthanatoy.
lovely. But
Nope. No, no,
uh,
no, no, no.
I need to give a point to Jericho here. Maybe we did fuck off. We maybe fucked up. We killed who we needed to kill, but probably there is something we forgot. We maybe did not complete our job there.
It's like
Uh,
we were
we,
too much in a rush to do the job. And I'm all for pushing the wheel when it needs to be done. I'm all for doing it as urgently as possible. But the fact that we're getting a second name from the same household tells me that we didn't push the wheel in the right direction. We just delayed the inevitable. We need to find out what the wheel's trying to tell us.
Hey,
And what we
let's
should have
just
done.
let's just say this, Jericho. We're out on a mission. Okay? The fates decide that someone needs to die in an apartment building. Do you kill the whole apartment building? No, you kill
No.
your target. If someone in the same apartment building needs to die a week later, you go and kill that other person, and so on and so forth. The nature of our job is as is. We don't go around killing willy-nilly. And if we have one target, we kill one target. If we have to go back and kill another target in the same damn room 2 hours later, it's what the fates decided. It's not our call to judge.
but what are we going to do with the kids? On Azazel's face, you cannot. It's telling that he already has a lot of grief by accepting his mission and telling and thinking about the kids what he will ask anyways.
Well, I'm not an
About
asshole.
about this point, there's a knock on the door.
Jericho will continue to yell over the knocking. The children need their mother. Okay? That's the
No,
best
the
thing for
children
them. Or
need
may not be. I don't know.
the
For
children
all
need
I
a
know, the
house.
mother will go ahead and become a heroin addict with the absurd amount of money that she's going to get from the settlement from the life
Okay.
insurance. She'll fall into
What
debauchery. I don't
maybe
know these things. I would
what
rather
maybe
know
about
something.
and Azazel will push a little bit Jericho so he calms down. What about we bring them to the choristers or the verbena or something like that? They are
The
good kids.
children need a house, and we're not babysitters, but the choristers tend to be all high and mighty about the humanitarian things. And as Demi says this, he goes to the door and, still facing the other two death mages, opens the door with his back to it. Like I said, we're gonna drop them off at the choristers or at the verbena, or for all intents and purposes, if you want to fuck up their entire existence, you can drop them off at the Diogenes Club and have the Hermetics brainwash them.
Oh, no, 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 not at the Hermetics. That almost happened to me
So
once.
not only are
And
we
when they give me
depriving
those
these
300
children of
books,
their
I
mother,
almost
we're
quit.
sending them to strangers they don't even know?
Their mother is poisonous to the wheel. I shall not have this discussed. She needs to die. If we happen to go there and the fates show us she doesn't need to die, we'll leave her alive. We'll leave the house. Problem solved. If the fates show us she needs to die, she is going to die. Period.
If will look at the
This
girl.
is a bad time. I can come back.
Hello, no,
I
you
would rather
cannot come
have
back
that information before we even go out there. What about a little bit of research before we jump into this?
now.
A Google search, it's not going to hurt us.
Cecil will look at Jade. Sorry, but you cannot go out now. Please step inside. Take a glass of, and he will look juice, and he will put a little bit of a glass with juice in the counter.
Jade walks in and picks up the glass. Thanks. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Dimmy. Just give me some time to research her. Maybe I can even contact the deceased spirit and try to figure out why the wheel is pushing us in this direction. Just give me some time to try and figure this out.
Yeah, you go have fun with the ghosts, because the internet is not going to help you. The internet doesn't tell us how to do our job. If you want to ask the spirits, be my guest. I have someone that I need to discuss with. And he looks at Jade. So, did you finally make up your mind?
Yeah, well, why take a chance on something else when I'm standing in front of a sure thing?
Are you sure about it? Have you thought about it well?
I'm sure. I'm sure it's not going to be easy. And, but I'm sure it's the right decision.
Fair enough. But you do remember what I told you.
Yeah.
You need to make do for your heirs, and you need to show your worth.
Jade will hand him a piece of paper.
Dimi takes the piece of paper and looks at it.
It's not an address, but it is a small map. That's the location as best as I can remember.
The location of?
The bar.
Fair enough. Dimi just goes to one of the counters and takes out a small knife and puts the paper on on a wall and fixes it with a knife. My dear gentlemen, we have the location of a sucker bar.
Dimi, who is her and what's a sucker bar?
Sucker, leech, vampire, creature of the night, whatever you want to call it. They have a bar, that's where the bar. This lady used to be the apprentice of Victoria.
Don't know who she is.
Victoria Ashley
Victoria.
Croft of House Hermetic, whatever. Vicky,
Still doesn't sound a bell.
From what I can tell, the way that the Order talk about her, she's like way, way high up in power and prestige.
She's
Oh,
She's nice
infamous.
to her friends, but bitchy to the apprentices.
one of those that look at you and you burn.
She doesn't even need to look at you, but still.
Oh, one of those.
She has her moods, but she's a good friend.
He will look at Jade. I bet that they will let her live, and he checks her out. 2, 3 weeks. I bet in 100 on that. Who takes the bet? No one. Boo.
Remind our potential apprentice why we don't do bets.
Sorry, Demi. Whoa, you said potential apprentice?
She needs to prove her worth, and I'm the only one that has enough time in this chantry to actually be able to take on an apprentice.
Whoa,
And
whoa, 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 whoa. We are taking, and yes, I'm saying we, an apprentice from the Hermetics.
Not really.
I'm
I,
going to schedule a flight back to India.
I can no longer study with the Hermetics.
Did you tamper with their coffee?
They don't
Or
approve
something?
of my boyfriend.
Oh, what's your boyfriend? Surprise me.
a demon.
Oh,
Hollow
oh,
one.
okay.
A demon.
Jericho is simply going to go ahead, turn his head to Demi, give him a wink, and say, "You're welcome." Walk away. He's going to walk away to his own little spirit garden to see if he can't put up a seance.
Well, Jade, what can I say? You're in luck. We're off to leave on a mission. You want to show your worth to the tradition. You have you have actually our only field agents because the others do internal jobs. And you're gonna accompany us on this mission.
Demi, we are not taking her.
This is not up for debate.
No,
Okay.
yes, this is up for debate. She's not one of us.
She needs to prove her worth.
She still doesn't know what we do. And he looks at her. I'm sorry for this, darling, but she might think we're just a bunch of killers. And you know how I get when that kind of things are said.
She lived with the Hermetics for the past couple of months. She already thinks we're bloody killers.
And Azazel will just get up off the counter and put his packet of crackers on Jade's hands. And we are a bunch of killers. But we kill for a greater purpose. If
So
you
I
want to
hear.
become one of us, if you want to learn, you will, and he will look straight at your eyes and go like, you will have to carry on your life knowing that you exist to put end to life, to things, to families. But it's always for a greater purpose. Temper yourself.
And Dimi stands up and gives a small applause towards Sam. Jade Valentine, Azazel Assam of House Chakravanti.
Namaste.
Hello.
Voice of reason over here. I didn't see this guy fight, but when it comes to knowing our traditions, he's good.
Oh, about fighting. And he will look at Demi. I blow the head of one of the things in Jericho's wardrobe.
He's a decent fighter as well, most of us are.
Thank you.
Well,
Okay, lesson number 1. But we're gonna take this in reverse. Usually it's see the person, kill the person, see the spirit. Now we're gonna do it a bit in reverse. Let's go after Jericho.
time to see the spirits, and he will uh, start walking through the inner maze-like halls of the chantry until, haha, a door to the marble cemetery is open, and then what we found.
You generally find Jericho making quick preparations for his own little seance. He's gone ahead and cleared out part of the garden and made a little circle of rocks, one for each of you, in fact. And behind the rocks stands one large stick. On each of the sticks is apparently a series of notches. They look very, very similar. However, you have the one straight line in one, and then across in the other, straight lines, slanted lines. They seem to be arranged in some sort of alphabet. And in the middle of the circle happens to just be a sand pit. And at the moment, Jericho is...
Austin, out of
Yep.
character. Sorry. Dim is brought up by his mother as well, being aided. Would this be anything that Dim would recognize?
Oh yeah, you definitely recognize a Celtic alphabet on each one of these sticks.
Fair enough.
And Jericho's currently just sitting on one of them, and in his hand happens to be, actually happens to be a trash bag. And in the trash bag happens to be lots of different papers with very, very fine print that he seems to be going ahead and just placing in the sand pit for the moment, just laying them out one by one by one. And if you would go ahead and look at it, you'd recognize that some of this writing is from the previous excursion into the MacArthur home. These are the papers that Jericho took for himself after the grisly scene was completed. Yep. Apparently Heather knows more about this than me. Yay!
Having fun, Jericho?
I'm preparing, but if you would like to help, please feel free.
In your way or in our ways?
Jimmy knows my particular belief system a lot better than you, so let's go with him, okay?
Okay.
Okay. As a quick question for you, can you help our potential apprentice see what we're doing here?
Oh, and he turns around and looks at Jade. A couple of weeks ago, we needed to send somebody back to the wheel.
I did not mean the information.
Oh, we are going to summon a spirit.
Can you
Give her
help
the
us see
sight.
it?
I'm not. I'm just. I'm just a normal girl who can do a few flashy tricks. That's it.
We're three normal guys, except our tricks are a bit flashier.
Yep.
Yeah. And if our trick fails, we have guts.
As in, can you see this? And Dimi just shows Heather, shows Jade, Jade around the cemetery, which is filled with lush vegetation and trees and stuff like that. A bit uncommon for the center of New York.
Yeah, I see the garden.
Yeah, this used to be barren.
Yeah, I know. I was here when you grew it.
I forgot that.
You see, our will, and Sam will start explaining, our will, it's not about just death. Our will means a lot of things. It means death, life, reincarnation, chance, opportunity, loss, found, good, bad, love, hate. The will means a lot of things. You will slowly be learning one of them, and you will discover that you are an important cog for the wheel.
Yes, or as you might be familiar with it, entropy.
But my explanation was more lovely.
More poetic.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm efficient, okay?
Okay.
So, can you help Jade see the spirit or not?
Nope. I cannot see them. And he will shake his hand in front of his eyes.
Oh, for God's sake. Okay.
Hey, from where we come, when you have a goddess with 6 arms and a lot of blades, you don't want to see them until the end of your life.
Ah, come on. I heard Kali's nice.
I have my doubts about it, and he will instantly look at the heavens. I'm kidding. Don't smite me.
Okay. Well,
You can see
is
throughout
it?
this entire conversation, Jericho is simply sitting cross-legged in front of his own special stone for the moment. He's currently going ahead and flashing, or I should say, sprinkling the documents in front of him every so often with salt. Me too, I can give her the sight.
I can do it as well, but still.
Okay, let's get to it. And he will.
Out of character, Austin, you
No,
need mind
no,
one
it
and
won't.
spirit one.
Oh, I got that. I got
Hassan will
mine one and
push
spirit one.
Jade near Jericho, and he will sit near the stone and go like, okay.
Jericho is simply going to go ahead and not look over with his sight, just sort of nod his head over to Jade, and he'll stop his rhythmic rubbing of the hands to go ahead and place his own hand on Jade's shoulder, and gonna roll a Mind One, Spirit One effect to grant this poor little sucker Spirit Sight.
You need to grant it to both of them. Just so you don't let SM out.
Right.
And you do what now?
And me, Hassan will be looking at Jericho and be like, right, this is racism. The white girl first, right? I get it. I get it.
Shush you.
I get it.
At most, it's sexist. I'm cuter than you.
No one is cuter than
Well,
my little
that's
Yatashi.
3 successes.
That's spirit side for the entire
Nobody
night.
is.
Okay, that's...
Yep. She's seen spirits for the entire night.
Ooh.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that's one amount of paradox coming my way?
No, you're based in the sanctum, so this is a coincidental effect.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, I look over, Jericho goes ahead and looks over to Demi. You want to go ahead and call his spirit to us? I can help you.
Okay, but you forgot. And he points to SM. Remember, he said he can't see. Okay, let's not make our brother feel left out.
Oh, her as well. I mean, for Christ's sakes. God damn it, I say so. Right. He's going to go ahead and grab over with his left hand, just Azazel his hand in his face. See it? One is again plants the hand to his full. Now you got spirit sight for the rest of them if you really want it. Alright.
You need to wash your hands. They smell like fish.
They're supposed to. I've been rubbing salt in between them.
Jericho, I can't summon spirits.
You can't?
My knowledge of shit isn't that good. I can talk to them and see them.
Well, here's what we can do. You have a little bit of the fates behind you, right?
I've got a lot of the fates behind me. I'm a Neothanatoid.
Alright. So
we all have the fates behind us.
Yep. We'll just go ahead and use some of that natural talent. we go ahead. It's not the connection, but it may do. What we want to do is go ahead and call out in a voice to our enough of the fates, the string of fates, the threads of fate, to go ahead and make sure that the right spirit gets called.
Okay. Fair
I
enough.
can help with that.
It's a little bit dangerous simply because the threads of fate and the wheel could turn in the opposite direction that we intend to, but it's worth a shot. With me?
Okay.
Both of you know that I have met Death, and I can probably ask Death to lend us a hand. And he will just stand and look to his brothers.
If you could find him.
If Hades is in New York and I haven't heard about it, I'll be very annoyed.
It's a guy that goes by the name of Death of Rabbits.
Hades has a sense of humor.
I don't know.
You gonna call the death of rabbits?
I'm just putting the option out there. He's the only Death he knows.
Nah.
All right.
We're
Jericho's suddenly
mages,
gonna
we're-
look at you and say, he's gonna go ahead and shake his head. I don't want to call death himself. I just want to call one deceased spirit. Calling death is
we're
gonna
not-
invite all kinds of problems.
Guys, we're not gonna bother Hades with the spirit, okay?
I think he's a demon, he called himself last time we met. Oh, it doesn't matter. He's a cool guy. I met him in the subway. And he make all kind of weird shit around me.
Well, if we need more hands, there is someone I could call.
You're not mixing Daniel into this,
Okay.
okay? He's a nice guy. I know he's your boyfriend. I know he's a ferryman. That's about it. And
Bye.
Jimmy will
Guys, I
start rubbing
really,
his back.
really don't want to call on death. I think that's a
We're
little bit
not
out of my
calling on
league.
anyone, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. We're 3 mages. We can do it.
Okay, you're right. Let's go ourselves all the way in.
And Dimi steps into one of the circles that Jericho drew earlier. And you can see him kneeling and taking out his knife and cutting the palm of his hand as he begins chanting, letting some blood spill on the ground.
As I said, we'll just look for a little bit of dirt and water, grab a little bit on each hand, show them to heaven, bring up near to his face, and kind of start whispering on them and doing back the movements once and another and again and again and again.
Did any of you ever see that old Nickelodeon show, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah, amazing.
We didn't have Nickelodeon in Greece.
Jericho goes ahead, one of his young apps, just throws it onto the documents, onto the salted documents, and they start to spark, actually. A small spark, but a visible one. Maybe it's some kind of chemical reaction that Jericho already knows, but it's enough to give a oomph, an effect. And I believe we can start casting rolls.
I think you can. Who's doing the actual summoning then? Hello?
I think Jericho is doing the actual summoning.
Right, okay.
Do it, because I'm a dumbass.
You'll do the arete roll, and you'll get an extra dice per mage.
All right. So that's 2 mages. That mean
So
I add
entropy,
2 more dice to my
entropy
arctic.
2, spirit 2.
Okay. If you match the spheres that Jericho is using, then you can roll your Erate as well and add your successes to his. As Azazel only offers 1 dice.
Okay,
All right.
well,
I'll
what
go ahead and
is
grab.
Jericho using?
He's using time magic by the looks of things.
No, I think it's entropy and spirit.
I think what Will said it was a joke.
Yeah.
Uh,
We'll give him.
technical difficulties.
Yeah, he looks like he's dropped out of session there for a moment. So, swirl of magical energy is forming around you as each of the 3 you adopt your own brand of euthanatonic magic, calling to the Chakravanti or Hades or whatever the hell Jericho worships. I don't think we need a roll for this one, though. The call will go out. You will all feel the energy leaving the room as the call steps between the barriers between the worlds.
Sorry about that.
Do you want to just, I won't worry about the rolls so much, guys. I'll just, Austin, do you want to just run with the actual description of your ritual, please?
Description of the ritual. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Basically, behind the gathered party happens to be Jericho's own familiar that he's modeling much of the world tree after. The world tree reaches up to the ethereal planes, which is the Umbra, Spirit's world, the like, and the roots dig down into the underworld, that of the ceased spirits. Jericho has gone ahead and marked each one of these stones with a particular letter of the Olmec alphabet, a Celtic alphabet used for divining certain things. And he's gone ahead and laid the documents of the politician in front, or at least in the middle of the circle. And all throughout, he's gone ahead and sprinkled them with different alchemical salts until finally he gets to the last sand that actually sparks up. Provides just a tiny puff of smoke, and with that, he tries to call upon the spirit of Mr. MacArthur. Try to call him back from the spirit world, from the realm of the dead, if he still lingers.
And again, all 3 of your aspects of the Thanatic doctrine sort of combine into sort of one magical ritual. The energy itself steps across into the other realms and launches out like a beacon or a flash of sonar or radar, hunting for its target. You feel the magical energy leave the room. The call is out there.
Azazel will look at Jade and go like, now, and he will show that the dirt has become sun and that the water has completely evaporated from his other hand. We wait.
Jericho's
Dimmy.
still wringing his and rubbing his hands together, saying, "Please do not leave the circle. We do not want to break it yet. If we need to close it down immediately."
Dimmy just stands up, not leaving the circle, and wiping the blood from his palm. We're wasting time with this, but have it your way, Jericho.
After this, you'll have no complaints from me. I will have done what I have needed done to satisfy my own conscience.
If this is why our brother needs to cope with what we do, it's in in which we must help.
Seems to be a whole lot of nothing.
About the 10-minute mark, if we so choose to still stay here, Jericho is just going to simply stop rubbing his hands. Just going to look at the documents in the center of the circle. Simply say, he's not there.
Maybe he's already in line to reincarnation.
He didn't die with any angst. He wouldn't have become... nothing ties him to this world anymore.
Not even
For all
his job?
intents and purposes, he died a very, very happy death within the arms of his wife. He's not here anymore. He moved on to the wheel. He had the good death.
Like he should have in the first place. I don't like dealing with spirits unless they are restless spirits, Jericho. It's tampering with the way the wheel turns. Okay?
At that comment, Azazel will just flinch a little bit, but shake his head.
Jericho's going to go ahead into his other pouch filled with a different type of sand. Go ahead and pour the contents all over the documents and snuff out any of the sparks. Just completely snuff it out and say, okay, he's not there. Let's just do it.
Wait, first, let's contact the choristers or the verbena just in case. Please.
We'll go to the choristers when we need to go to the choristers. First of all, we need something done. We need two things done. We need our victim killed and our apprentice, potential apprentice, proved worthy or not. After that, we can go and talk to the choristers.
Okay, Azazel will look at Jade. What you can do?
Tea, dishes, laundry, beds.
Something that is non-hermetic training, I mean.
Something that's not hermetic training. I'm a pretty good shot with a gun. I'm okay with a knife.
Okay.
And I'm fast.
Azazel will bring out his Smith & Wesson and throw it at Jade. Grab.
Jade fumbles a bit with her fingers still bandaged, but catches.
6 bullets. 1 shot should be enough. 1 shot is always enough. Okay?
Okay. Dimmy,
Yes.
I know my month isn't up yet, but before we go, can you give me a hand with these?
You're not my apprentice yet.
Okay.
I reserve myself the right of being an asshole.
That's fine. Oh boy. Okay, well, I'll just use the other hand from what I normally would.
It's a house with a maid.
Goes from stone to stone to stone, collecting the different alphabets together, just unsanctifying the circle, closing down the portal, or closing down the connection.
Jade, it's a house with 2 children, a woman, and a housemaid. What do you think could happen? Who do you think you'd need to shoot? We keep our weapons around in case shit hits the fan, okay? You don't need to be Bullseye Bill to take out anything that could come there.
No, I know. It's just weird.
No, it's non-hermetic. Why? That's why you think it's weird. Because we don't sit on our asses reading books all day long.
True.
And
Okay.
Jimmy just gets out of the circle, and as he passes Jericho, he gets really close to him. Their foreheads almost touching, and you can see the stern look upon his face and be like, I do not approve of us dealing with spirits once our job is done, since some of us, and Dimi raises his hand and you can still see the cut on it and blood slowly dripping but the wound starting to close, have to pay dearly for dealing with the dead.
It's because you don't understand, or you don't have a medium. There's a tree there. I think one of your parents would understand what that means.
I know what the tree means, but we still
But I do
need
appreciate.
tools for our magic. And you can see Dimi playing with his prayer beads. Okay. These don't work for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And
Come
you can
on,
see
Demi. Don't be like that with him. He wanted to put his conscience at rest. We all need to do that. You know why.
okay, I know he needs to put his conscience down to rest, but calling spirits that have passed peacefully from the underworld is
Well,
playing with the ferryman.
we didn't know, and maybe he was lingering on, and he could have been helped. He could have helped, but now we know at least that he passed on forwards without any kind of grudge, and that's
Yeah, because if you were a ghost and 3 people you never saw before summoned you as a ghost and went like, hey, do you mind helping us? We're going to kill your wife. You'd be really happy.
well,
I
yeah.
would have framed it a different way, tried to appeal to. You know what? It doesn't mind. He passed on. Most spirits are more than willing to go ahead and talk to you, just to interface with the material world, especially the more recent ones. But that didn't happen. I'll be watching out for the garden for the next few days to see if this didn't do anything else. Because we did make out a blind call. Anything could have pulled out or come back.
And Demi just goes back to up to his room. He changes his clothes. He takes his knife, tucks it into his boot, takes his desert eagle, gets a change of clothes, and goes to start the car.
As I said, we'll go and bring the duffel bags of the.
Yeah, Jericho's gonna go ahead and do likewise. He's gonna make sure that, yeah, let's try these. Do we want to try the same trick we did last time with the service people?
No,
Or is that trick not gonna
no.
work twice?
No.
That trick's not going to work twice.
She knows our faces, and Demi points to the 3 of them. There's
Ah,
one of us here whose face she doesn't know.
no. And as I said, would point out, Demi, they know both of your faces. I'm a completely different story.
Okay, and Demi just looks at Jade. Can you do any magic?
None of it's
Short
really
answer.
that impressive. Short answer: alchemy, dream interpretation. A little bit
Useless in
of
this
dream
situation.
walking. Yeah.
Useless in this situation. Azazel, you're sitting in the car with me and Jericho and help us do magic. We let Jade do the talking.
Agreed. I would say that if she can comprehend why we need to pull the trigger, and if she gets the guts to pull the trigger, and he will look at her. If she can do that, she had proved her worthy to me.
Solo is killing with us.
Yeah, basically. Or dying. We could also try that, and he will go for his knife.
No. Let's not kill her yet.
Okay.
And unless someone else wants to say anything, I think the 4 of us drive off to the house.
That sounds like a definite change in scene. What time do you guys want to actually arrive at the homestead?
Late afternoon, early evening, if you ask me.
So about 6, 7 o'clock ish. It's still gonna be pretty daylight at that point. Is that okay?
Fair enough.
Okay. You arrive again, Westchester and the nicer parts of New York. After going through the pretty shitty normal drive, go through the poorer parts of the city into the very, very high rich area. And you approach upon the same house and address where you have had your previous encounter with the MacArthurs. There's only one car outside the sort of driveway at this point. Some of the curtains are sort of drawn closed, with only sort of the ones for the main front room or the lounge and one for the study sort of being open. You can see some activity in the windows there. No, much doesn't seem to have changed, with the exception of one thing. There's now a signpost in the front yard which says "for sale." So it looks like the property has got some name of some property developers or dealers that are going to be selling the property on.
Okay, so apparently we arrived too late.
Maybe not. Maybe they are still there. Maybe they are still inside until their house is, well, sell.
And Dimi pops his head out of the window looking at the house. And I'm gonna spend the willpower here. Do a live sight. See if anyone's around.
Eesh.
Good thing I spent the willpower.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Nothing happens. A bit of pollen flies in your face or something like that, and you don't get much of a reading.
And Demi trying to wipe off the pollen. Okay, that led nowhere.
Okay,
Jade.
let
No.
me try.
No. Jade, no.
Okay. Let the apprentice go and knock. Anyways, I'm going to do it because I like my missions well done.
Garrico's simply going to look at Jade and say, "Don't go out there unless you have a very, very good story. I'm serious here."
Okay, give me a second.
I will roll for the life side so I can give her a little bit of forecheck before we send her out there, like the douchebags we are.
Okay. Coincidence.
Oh, yes! The amazingness!
Are you casting that on yourself?
Yep, because
Okay.
I only have life 2.
So it will last for the scene. Essentially, your sight can now see everything. What are you looking for then?
The life marks I saw before: mother, child, son, cleaning lady.
There seems to be 3 heartbeats. 2 upstairs, 1 downstairs in the front room.
Okay. We have 3 in the house. I think they maybe tell the cleaning woman not to come anymore. So Jade, and he will look at the girl. 3 persons.
3 people. Okay. House is for sale. Realtor would no.
Jade, the people that you might meet happen to be 1 mother, and two daughters, two twin daughters, really red hair, quite adorable.
Or annoying, depending on how you interacted with them.
Two little brats, in my opinion, but okay.
Oh, come on. Kids? Really?
They're
Have we called,
spoiled!
have we called the singers yet?
We will call the singers when we need to call the singers. For all intents and purposes, those children are not orphans yet.
Here's what I suggest. Grab her, bring her in here, do it, or release her. If we do it, then go ahead and call the choristers and tell them this address.
We can drop the kids off by the choristers. Okay? Too many people in front of a house raises eyebrows.
Okay, wait. Kids. Little kids aren't gonna quietly get into a car with a bunch of strangers.
They are if they're sleeping.
Jade, and let me tell you this, we are not good people. And at the same time, we are not bad people. We are in the middle.
We are good people, we're just not nice people at the same time.
You guys still want me to be the one to go up to the door, right?
It's your job.
She saw the three of us. You're the only face in this car that she doesn't recognize.
Okay.
And you need to buy us time for me to actually be able to put everybody to sleep again.
How long will that take?
20 minutes? Be a really interested buyer. And don't get scared if they happen to drop while you're talking to them.
Will, this house is not for sale by owner, is it?
Beg your pardon?
The for sale sign. Is it for sale by owner, or is there like a name of an agency that the house is being sold through on it?
It's got a name of an agency.
Okay.
Pretend you contacted the agency.
No. The agent or an agent would have brought me over, if not the agent they're selling the house through. Well, she's a mom, right?
Yep. Recently widowed, if that helps.
Okay, so let's play on her sympathies. Jade is going to pull off her shoes. And leave them in the car. She's gonna...
You can see Dimi just putting his hand over his nose. You can take those with you.
No, actually, I'm not. She's gonna mess up her hair, her clothes. Actually, she's gonna grab or ask Dimi for his knife, and just kind of rip one of the sleeves a bit.
He will stop Jade's hand with the knife. I think I get what you're doing. And he will grab Jade's sleeve and rip it a little bit with his hands.
And
that seems a little bit more.
Dimi looks to Azazel. Sand, please.
Sure. And he will start by himself. Oh, sorry, only got graveyard soil, and will put a little bag on his hand.
And Dimi takes the soil, pours it into his hand, rubs it with his palm, and just lives dust prints and mud prints all over Jade.
Out of curiosity, does anybody here have the common sense merit?
Hi. I was wondering when you were going to chime in.
Okay. Just to put some information out there, Westchester is a very, very rich area filled with lots of rich, multiple, upper middle class, sort of old sort of nobility kind of family.
If they see somebody like Jade walking around, knocking on the door, they're going to call 911 to pick her up.
Yes, it might be along the lines of the poor might have gotten into the wrong part of New York and need to be extricated by the good servicemen and women of the other police.
I go ahead and relay that information saying, they see you like that, they're simply going to close the door on you and call the authorities. Don't do that.
Well, I'm kind of hoping I can play on her mom sympathies.
You could pretend you were recently mugged.
No, don't do that. If you do that, then they'll definitely call the cops.
They'll have her in the house and give her a drop of water because no normal-headed person lets an assault victim wander off the streets.
No, they are right. Maybe this would have worked before her husband's death, but...
Come on, look at her, she's harmless. And he points to Jade.
Yeah, also the 3 electricians from the last time, they were harmless.
Yeah.
Until someone died on their wake.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's because we had the Mexican with us.
Hey!
This is the easiest thing in the world. Somebody get me a wet nap or something.
With
Jericho produces a wet nap from his magical murder bag. He's been, carrying them around now ever since the Dark World incidents that keep happening.
Yes,
Jade grabs the wet nap and starts cleaning herself up. She grabs the shoes and puts them back on, and she'll take her jacket and sort of throw it over her shoulders. Okay. This is the easiest thing in the world. I'm a writer.
Okay.
The house is for sale. I'm writing a book. I was wondering if, since the house is for sale, if she wouldn't mind.
Some background info for you. Before the husband died, he was actually working on a great relief effort for the homeless. I don't know if that was public knowledge or not, but you may want to play up that angle. Researching a very, very great man who may have been cut down before his time.
Well, maybe if she's going to do this, Nassam will put his hands over his face and activate his Arcane 3 once more. Maybe I could lend her a hand. They won't remember me, probably. No one does.
Your arcane is always on, by the way.
Oh, good.
You never need to activate it.
I stopped suppressing it.
Yep, go ahead. Hopefully you didn't do a lot of damage to your nice clothes there. Otherwise, the story won't hold.
Yeah, well, we'll see. And she'll get...
And Dimi just looks at Assam. You're not helping her, you're helping us over here, so we do this fast, okay? She's a writer, she has a good head on her shoulders, she can talk her way inside the house.
Okay, she's your apprentice, and Nasaita will start suppressing again his
potential apprentice, keep in mind.
Potential apprentice, and Nasaita will start suppressing again his Arcane 3. Okay, what are we doing here?
You see Jericho go ahead and rub his hands in a rhythmic motion. We're helping Dimmy over here. He's the one who did it last time.
Keep your ears open and let's see how she reacts first, and after that we start doing our spells.
Sure, grabbing the D6, start fumbling with it.
Jade will get out of the car, go up to the house, and knock on the door.
You hear a voice coming through the door saying, "Hello?" Night.
She'll knock on the door again. Hello, is anybody home?
The door will open slightly, but you can see it's on a chain. And sort of woman with sort of dishevelled hair will sort of pop her head around through sort of the slight opening of the door, and you're gonna make a sort of perception plus empathy roll, please.
Sure. One success.
Bags under the eyes. There was mascara on earlier on in the morning, but it seems to have run and wiped off. Looks like she's been crying recently.
Good evening, Mrs. MacArthur. I'm sorry to bother you. My name is Jade Valentine. I'm an author and a student at the college. I was hoping I could speak to you about your husband.
Eyes don't make contact with yours, and she appears to sort of, you can see the wedding ring that she still wears on her finger. Hand sort of slides down the side of the door a bit, and it's like she turns around and says, "Look, I'm really busy. I gave an interview to the newspapers about my husband and his work."
I understand. I saw the interview. I was actually hoping to speak to you about him as the person. I know he was his project. He was a great man, and I'm very sorry to hear that he was taken so suddenly from us. But I felt like I wanted to do something to honor his greatness.
Then lobby for his work to be done. Then my husband was never interested in putting himself on a pedestal, but his work was most important.
Anything you could help me with getting this paper put together and published, I would be so grateful.
Well, his project needs money, so
I would be willing to make a donation.
how much?
Jade stops and thinks a moment. I could do 1,000 in 2 installments. 500 this month and 500 next month.
she looks at you and she can sort of see the trying to sort of level with you and understand your sort of contrition. This house shall be sold for about well, we think about $3 million, and we've gotten rid of the family car and our second home and the life savings and stock shares that we had, and it's not going to be enough. I'm sorry. I really do appreciate that you would offer that much, and I think it's quite a lot for a writer to offer. But I don't want to discuss my husband.
I understand. I'm sorry to bother you. I should have called, but I thought this was a request that would be best made in person.
Look, I mean, do you work for a paper at all, or any way, shape, or do you have any kind of contacts in the media?
My agent. Up to now, I've written fantasy novels, but well, I'm a grown up now. You know, those were things that I'd written in my teens, and my father was a gun safety advocate. I feel like this is something that I was meant to write about. I feel like there's a story here that needs to be told.
Look, I'm going to see my children. I'm sorry that you've had to come out this way. It looks like it's been quite it's quite away from New York.
Of course. Would you mind terribly if I left my card?
Yeah, okay.
Jade will reach into her purse and pull out her card. It has her name on it, the name of her publisher, and the name of her agent. Here you go, just so you know everything's on the up and up.
She will take your card very graciously. She'll make an eye contact briefly, and then she'll sort of thank you for your time. Thank you.
No, thank you for your time. I'm so sorry about your loss. You have my deepest sympathies.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And with that, she'll close the door, and you can sort of almost hear a slight sort of tap against the door. As you can picture her sort of place her head against it and stifle a sob as you sort of start walking away from the door.
Jade will head back to the car.
So is she in or not?
No, Jade is not in.
As Cecil sees her coming back to the car, he will open the door for Jade, grab her in, close the door. How it went?
Not good. She is. She wouldn't let me in.
Okay.
Fair enough. Then we come in the hard way. Did she lock the door?
I didn't hear it, but she had a chain on it, so
Doesn't matter. He will look at the D6 and he will whisper, "There is no door that can stop the hordes of fate, the hounds of hell."
Look to Cecil and say, actually, I'm going to look to Jade and say, did you see a keypad?
Would I have seen a keypad, Will?
Nope, you would not have had the opportunity to see a keypad.
No, I did not see a keypad.
I'd like to remind you guys that houses like this, they have more locks and security than just deadbolts.
Okay, nothing that a little bit of rust, force, and sleep can't handle.
You want to try
Okay.
the same trick we did before to knock out
Yes.
the junction boxes to make sure that there is no power going to those thingies?
Let's
I
make
would
sure they're
say,
sleeping first.
but this time, let's put once they are on the deep dream, let's wake up the mother. Maybe that's what we did wrong the other time. We didn't explain why he needed to die.
Okay, granted.
No, that's a terrible idea.
It worked it worked once with me. You need to understand why you need to die.
You wake that woman up, people simply scream.
Not if she has a gun or two pointed at her.
Then she won't be cooperative.
Or just a little bit of a gag.
Okay, let me handle this. Okay, let's get our work done. And you can see
Right.
Dimi. You can see Dimi kneeling down in the back of the car, rubbing his hands.
Jericho's going to go ahead and sit beside him, so keep them sleeping.
Yep.
All right.
How many of them are there inside, Sam?
3. And he will sit with his brothers and
It's
also
gonna
start
be
moving his hands.
And this is life 3 correspondence 1 effect. Will correct me if I'm wrong.
That's correct.
Okay. And you see Dimi clutching his prayer beads, rubbing his hands, and calling once again upon the forces of Kronos, the god of sleep, to put the 3 people inside the house to sleep. And this is gonna be an extended roll. And I'm gonna spend willpower. Because heaven help me if I botch.
And yes, and we need to protect our queen. I'm holding my queen like a tedious father.
Yep.
No successes. Actually, 1 success, sorry.
Okay.
So I need 1 success for duration, 1 for effect, and 3 more for the people, right?
So for the scene, it'll be 2 successes needed, and it'll be 3 successes for each individual person.
So
Don't
it's
forget.
5 in total.
It's like, don't forget, you have 2 mages with life 2 that could help you out.
So that's an extra dice each.
Yep.
So do I roll 2 more dice now?
Yeah,
and,
roll two more dice there for the first effect.
No successes.
Okay, now.
Amazing.
Well, actually, 1 success because I spent 1 willpower.
Yeah.
Let me write this down somewhere. Okay, so it's 1 success on the first turn. Now, do I roll 3 or 5?
You roll 5 again.
Spending the willpower again. So it's 1, 2, 3. It's 3 successes, so I already have 4. And I'm spending 1 willpower again. Fuck, I spent 3 willpower on a single spell.
Yes, you have. Welcome to Mage.
1, 2. So it's 2 more successes plus the 1, 3 more successes. So I've got a total of 7 successes.
Your incantation goes off. If you want to describe the magic as you unleash it, you are successful.
And Demi simply calls up to Kronos, the god of sleep, and he sees the threads of the looms of each one of the people in the house. As the spirit and will of the god of sleep gently touches the cords of the threads of their each and every one of their looms, making them fall into a deep slumber with a muted thump.
Lovely.
Now, for the boxes.
Oh, for the boxes, this will be fun.
You see Jericho go ahead and continue to rub his hands methodically. He's actually coated his hands with a fine powder, in fact. A fine spice, actually. He's left his latex gloves within his magical murder bag for the moment.
Okay, so are we turning off the power from the mains into the building? Is that right? Is that what we're doing?
We're doing the same trick we did before, actually, yes.
Okay. Make your rolls, please.
Alright. Rolling. It's 2 successes for me on the first run.
Here we go. Padunk. 2 for me also.
Okay, so you're all combining this ritual. So who's leading it?
I'll go ahead and lead it.
The guy with the highest average.
Right, so you have a net total of 4 successes so far, which will mean pretty much like a room without power and for the scene. So you could extend it further if you wish.
Oh, definitely extending it further. Gonna try to extend it further. No reason to be rushing with this type of thing.
Not at all. Another roll, please, gentlemen.
Alright. 1, 2, 3. Rolling.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
2 more successes from my side.
3 for mine.
The fates appear to be answering your incantations with zeal this evening as the power of the house goes out.
Okay. Time to go back into my magical murder bag, wipe off my hands with the knapsack, place on the latex gloves, because now we're going to break in.
Yep, as I said, we'll put the gloves on. I can take care of the door. I can try at least.
Go ahead and try to, my good sir. And
Sure.
Dimmy gets a pair of gloves, hands another pair to Jade, and proceeds outside the car, following the other 2.
Cecil will stop suppressing once more his arcane tree, will take out his D6, black D6, and go to the door, put it against. He will look at Jade. Where do you think the chain is?
Right about there, and Jade will point to the spot on the door.
Okay. He will place the D6 on the chain, there on the knob, then finally on the keyhole and whisper, "There is no door, there is no lock that can prevent swift death." And he will blow over the side of the door, and we will see. I will try to roll my entropy 2 to increase the chances if I put enough force on this door to either open or break a little bit.
Okay, make your roll.
Oh, 1 success only.
So you're affecting the pattern. You might need to extend your cast into this one as well.
Yeah. Rolling again. And another success.
Okay. You think it's a very small chain that they have, keeping these doors closed. You think you can probably weaken it. You know, those Chinese manufactured sort of door locks they have there now are always shoddy, aren't they? They're always prone to sort of metal fatigue unless you look after them.
And after this, Cecil will just put his hand over. There is a small space over the knob, and he will just put his hand the other hand over it and press with his strength. Yeah. The door goes plunk.
Azazel has been directly challenged the gods of the 10-sided dice this evening. For that, the door seems to give budge. It looks like you have sort of deteriorated the lock as well as the sort of security chain that you have.
We're in, gentlemen and lady.
Okay.
And Dimmy just looks around. Jericho, find the children.
Jericho is simply going to go ahead and pop on his life sight and skulk around, actually. He's going to keep his eyes out and open for any sort of first light, anything that would distract his attention. But he's going to focus on two life sources very close together.
There appear to be a pulsing life source upstairs.
Okay. Jericho's simply going to go ahead and point above his head and proceed to locate the stairs, first of all.
Yeah, it doesn't take you too long, although as you remember from the ground floor, it is quite a spacious room. You do find the stairways going up. So, replica Edwardian style, filigreed wood and things like this.
Alright. I'm going to go ahead and at least confirm I know where these life sources are. I'm going to go ahead and slowly walk up the staircase. I'm not going to go ahead and enter any rooms quite yet. I'm simply going to try to confirm behind which door the children had to be in.
As you sort of sneak upstairs, you can immediately see what looks like a storage cupboard, like a walk-in closet, a bathroom judging from the smell issuing for it, the smell of perfume and things like that. A couple of rooms which are nondescript, doors closed, and another room with got one of those little wooden signs on.
Mm-hmm.
Meg and Lucy, and you can see that sort of the faded what used to be on the white doors, sort of crayon drawings of things which have sort of had a half-hearted attempt at being cleaned off.
All right. Confirm that the life signs are behind that door, I guess?
They are.
Okay. Confirm that. But actually, let's take a nice little side trip into the bathroom.
It's a bathroom with sort of shower, a quite luxurious bath. It's, typical mod cons that you would expect.
Okay. Toothbrushes, toothpaste, looking through the trash at the moment.
There are 4 toothbrushes, toothpastes, all the accoutrements. You notice that the shelf is sort of stocked with man's deodorant, and no shaving cream, razors. There's his and hers bathrobe still hanging up.
Okay. Do the toothbrushes look like they've been used?
Well, hers looks a bit damp.
Okay. And you said 4. Oh, it'd be 1, then the replacement one afterwards when you finally... See, I'm not used to this kind of bathroom arrangement. I'm a guy. I'm going to go ahead and take the female-looking toothbrush if there is a distinction. Or, in fact, I'll just go ahead and take the entire set and put it in my magic murder bag. Right after zipping it all up in individual plastic bags. Excuse me.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and sneak back down after again confirming that those life signs are behind that door. Walk down to the rest of the group, say, okay. Again in hushed words and whispers. Okay. There happens to be a children's room upstairs. It's marked by a little sign with Meg and Lucy on it. That's where the children are.
Have you made sure?
I looked at the life signs to make
Have
sure.
you made sure that they were them?
Are you saying that I walk into the room and witness them? No.
Why don't you do that for all intents and purposes? There could be two different children, there could be two birds, there could be two anything in there.
Fine. I'll go up and I'll make sure.
Think you don't hate us.
I already do hate you. Okay.
Oh, good.
Right. Time to make sure. Time to confirm.
Actually, and you see Dimmy popping his head up down the staircase where Jericho probably got up to. Bring him down here.
No.
Do I look like I'm joking?
Kidding me. You wanted me to bring 2 sleeping children down here.
Preferably without waking them up.
I will give you a hand, and Assassin will go behind Jericho.
Before we do that, can we at least look at the fate of the mother before we decide to do anything?
And we should also check
We
the fate
should
of the
look at the
children.
fate of the mother when we find the mother. I want to know the children are safe.
Come on, Jericho, let's go.
Fine. Jericho will reluctantly go ahead and take Asasel's lead.
Assassin will go to the room. The door is locked.
No, the door is not locked. I'm trying.
Very slowly, I will grab the knob and turn it, and then slowly push a little bit.
The door, the smell of perfume and sweets and the typical accoutrements of a twin girl's room sort of assaults your senses as you open the door. The 2 girls appear to be both lying sort of on the sort of carpeted floor, or almost opposite something that they have. They were sitting together, and they have something in between the 2 of them. Can't quite make it what it is.
Okay. Look at Jericho. What?
Jericho is currently producing zip ties from his magical birder bag.
I'll grab a couple of zip ties.
Oh, can you make a perception plus investigation roll, please?
Oh, amazing. 3, 4, 5. Okay.
I apparently do not have investigation, unfortunately.
Perception only, then.
Okay, fair enough. Rolling. 1 success.
I got 5 on me.
Okay. Well, the first thing that you do notice, out of curiosity, is they appear to be, both the girls, who seem to be called Meg and Lucy, appear to be sitting on either side of what looks like a Ouija board.
She will look at Jericho. You see, this is why you always need to check.
Jericho's simply going to hold out one finger to Asazel's mouth. He's going to pop his spirit sight. He's actually very, very worried about this. Very, very worried. Nobody's fucking moving right now, and I am spending a willpower on this one.
I still have the spirit side on me?
For the rest of the night? Okay.
No, it's for the scene. So no,
Okay.
you don't.
Cool. Thank you.
2 successes with willpower.
Okay. So you activate Spirit Sight. What are you expecting to see?
I am expecting to see absolutely nothing within this room.
You see absolutely nothing within this room.
That was not a willpower wasted. That was a willpower well spent.
Very
As
good.
Jericho's just going to say, okay, it's fine. He's going to go ahead and walk over to one of the children, very, very gently, try to roll her over so that she's on her back.
He will,
And
Cecil will stop Jericho. And he will look at him and go like, maybe I'm just too freaked out because I have seen a lot of movies recently, but maybe one of them is possessed? You never know. Could you check that?
Jericho is going to go ahead and look to each child and check to see if they are possessed with his spirit sight. Or do you need another roll for that?
We'll stick at the roll because the roll could conceivably last for the scene. And you do not see any signs of possession.
Go look over to Azazel. They're fine. They're clean.
Okay. Jericho, I know you don't like this. Neither do I. I don't like breaking up families. I don't like killing women. I don't like leaving children without their fathers. And he's very, you note a mood swing on this last part, but sometimes we do not need to comprehend what we do. And you know that pretty much he's not telling you this, he's telling himself this last part. We just need to do so. It's for the greater good always. For the greater good.
This is what I need you to do. I need you to maintain an aura and an aura of calm throughout this entire procedure, because I do not want a mistake to happen because of some emotional outbreak.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Don't worry.
keep them quiet as well as yourself and myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jericho again goes back to the work, as we're going to go ahead and call it. Lay the child onto her back. Take each hand, each small little wrist. Go ahead and bind them together. Does the same with the legs. And he grabs some duct tape. Duct tapes the mouth over.
I say so. We'll do the same thing and grab one of the childs on his arms. Ready to go?
Jericho's going to stop for a second. Jericho just simply picks up Meg, or Lucy, whichever one of the twins, and carries her out. Not much of a word.
She stirs gently while she's in your arms, but doesn't seem to be quietly asleep.
And just in case, Azazel is taking the Ouija board with him.
Fair enough. Jericho is simply going to go ahead and carry child in his arms back to Dimmy as some sort of perverted prize.
Okay, what took you so long? There are two children.
When Jade sees this, she is absolutely horrified.
Azazel will look at Jade. Okay, time for a lesson and time for memories we all need. And he will put one of the childs on the chair or couch or whatever and put the Ouija board away. And he will sit.
Okay,
Everyone.
if I can just sort of jump in there. At the moment, you've come downstairs and you've not entered into any of the rooms downstairs, so you're actually standing in the hallway at this point. So there are no chairs and things like that in the hallway. Sorry.
Oh, okay. On that.
I look to Azazel and I say, lessons are for afterwards.
And he will look at Jade and he will motion Jericho with his head. Lessons are for now. While we work.
Okay, keep talking. Let's find the mother.
And while we look, Caesar will start explaining Jade the story he explained a long time ago about the first death. He will tell her the same story that he told yours, Rain, why death is necessary and what great equalizer it is, and yada yada yada. And he will start selling it as a, the normal Euthanatos pitch.
And how does any of that require you to bring two little girls downstairs with duct tape over their mouths?
Because, and he will, I assume Azazel is alone with Jade at the moment, and he will look at her and go like, because the day I saw my mother die, I screamed. I screamed so hard that the seven heavens and the seven hells heard me.
Okay, fair enough.
Good. And he will keep looking forward for the mother.
Okay. So you're searching for the mother at this point, are you?
Yeah.
You find her in the study. You notice that she's sitting in the same seat as her husband was, with her back to the window, curtains open. You notice the first thing that she seems to be doing is sort of head first down into in her arms. She seems to be holding on to what appears to be a suit jacket in her arms. Sort of buried her face into it as she's sleeping. All the books and a lot of the accoutrements have been boxed and now sitting there with that writing on them for charity and things like this. A lot of the work that you saw, paperwork, apart from the stuff that you took yourself, has sort of been reorganized. So it's much more a mess. You notice that the place hasn't really been cleaned or hoovered, and that's really about the end of it.
Okay.
First of all, let's split up. Or actually not split up. Jade, you stay here with Assam. Assam, tell her what we're about to do. I tie her down to the chair because you want to talk to her before we send her off to the wheel. Jericho, please take the children into another room because if she screams, I don't want them to wake up.
We are not saying that she is going to die. We are not saying that. Just
right now.
Okay.
They're in a separate room, but if you think more distance is appropriate, I will go away.
Jade. What we are going to do now is to we need to be sure that this woman, death or salvation, is what the destiny, what fate wants. We don't do this with our minds, we don't do this with our hearts. We don't do anything out of our own choice. We do this out of destiny, faith, orders, higher calling, whatever you want to call. It's not us. We are just tools. Okay?
Okay. She'll
Ye-
nod.
You will need to find a way in the future to cope, to, well, get rid of the stench of death afterwards.
She'll nod.
Well, Timmy
And,
explanation has been given. Let's do this.
and well, as Hazel explains stuff to Jade, Demi is just tying the woman down to the chair, tying her legs together, tying her hands on the handrests of the chair, which I presume the chair has.
Mm-hmm.
Can you muffle her voice if she wakes up and she starts screaming?
And Demi takes out from his pocket 2 handkerchiefs, which have their corner tied together, because that's the first thing I laid my hands on my desk, and makes a little gag out of them and ties it behind the back of the woman's head, placing it into her mouth so she doesn't scream.
Jade is going to move around to stand behind her.
Okay.
And
So
the moment, go ahead.
just to bring the position where you are again. Okay. So you've got one of these sort of largest bay windows with the curtains drawn open. She has her back to those windows right now, and the desk is in front of her. So you enter in the doorway on the left-hand side, and you'll make your way over to where you are. So Jade's standing behind her right now, which is so you've got your back to the windows, and the other two of you, I assume, will be on either side. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Demi is just gonna wait for Jericho.
Right, Jericho is simply going to go ahead and do as asked and place the children as neatly and as quietly as possible in another room, whether it happens to be the kitchen on the other side of the house or wherever.
There will be another sort of lounge area, sort of family communal room with TV and a little fish pond, and as in a little sort of sort of those fish tanks, and another aquarium for turtles. Seems to be suitably comfortable enough for 2 little girls.
Alright, fair enough. After going ahead and laying them in the room so that they're not at an awkward angle so they can sleep fairly soundly, Jericho will return to the study to witness this grisly scene.
And Demi just stands up, goes next to the windows, pulls the blinds on them so that little to no light gets into the room, takes another chair, takes a seated position on the other side of the desk in front of Caroline, and looks at the others, and especially to us, ready when you are.
Very well. He will take his D6 and he will throw it into the air and ask the fates, loudly and clear, this woman deserves to die. And I got only one success.
Jericho, for his part, is rubbing his hands again. He's actually whispering his own little prayer. Any way to save this family.
Demi just pulls out his gun and puts it on the table because he's not going to question the fates because he trusts that letter and because overconfident is a fucking awful flaw.
Well, that's a fail on my roll.
Okay. So what was your question, Jericho?
My question was, any way to save this family?
You will get a message back, or you feeling from the fates themselves, a single sentence: for the mother, nothing. Cecil, what was your question?
Does this woman deserve to die?
As a fanatic, as somebody that is poison to the wheel, then yes.
Okay. A little spark will come out of Azazel's eye as it falls back into the sun. The answer is yes. This woman deserves to die.
I don't need to check. I trust the letter that we got. And with that, Dimi waves his hand, touching the threads of Caroline's room and releasing her from the touch of hypnos and effectively waking her up.
She opens her eyes, blinking back sleep, and then you see muffled gasps as she eyes the four of you in the room, and you can see severe amount of alarm and gag screaming, and her
Takes
trying
the gun from the table, points it straight at an imaginary point between her eyes. If you want to talk, you don't scream. If you scream, you die.
you can see rapid breathing as you point the gun towards her head, and then blinking back tears, she nods.
Dimi just waves to Jay to take her gag out and take the handkerchiefs in her hand.
Jade will carefully take the gag out and pull it aside.
She will look at you with all recognition and one of those stares of, please help me.
Caroline, what was your husband's work?
She's breathing and looking at each of you in turn. What?
Caroline, what was your husband's work?
Who are you?
That's not the answer. I'm asking what was your husband's work?
My husband was a good man.
Yes, he was. What was his work?
To save people.
How?
She gulps visibly. By using this system that we have.
Explain the system to me.
Corporate bastards taking money out of initiatives to look after the poor and the homeless. And we found new ways of funding that initiatives so poor and homeless won't go without food or shelter.
You can see Dimi tapping the fingers of the other hand in which he's not holding a gun on the table, and you can see him visibly losing his patience.
You were continuing your husband's work.
It's the best thing I can do for my husband.
Your husband, he was a good man. You're a good woman. But your
Yes.
husband's work has condemned both of you.
How has it condemned us both? We are doing good things as good Christians.
Good and evil, it doesn't matter. It's not balance, it's not order. It takes away from someone we cannot take away from, someone no one can take away from. Fate. You're tampering with fate.
You fucking crazy ass person. What the hell are you talking about? What we're doing is trying to give them a chance at life.
AA? AA, okay? Shush. This new method, how does it work? This new method of gaining funds, how does it work? Where is this money going to?
She looks at you and with defiant eyes. You know, she's blinking back tears at the same time. Corporate bonds, monies of people that who have deceased, and that the state would try to claim the money for their own purposes. Any sort of institution that had spare money or interest that we could funnel back into public initiatives before it gets gobbled up by some greedy corporation or private enterprise or some God bless America bullshit like that.
Corporate bonds. Okay. You take money from these corporate bonds, and I assume you have some other method of doing so. Go ahead and funnel it toward, what? You said public initiatives, but is there any organization, any oversight for this?
Always organisations working for homeless, they're all out there. She seems to have calmed herself down by talking about her husband's work.
You see Demi standing up and placing his gun on the desk and just walking around talking to the three members of his party. Okay, and why can't you have this conversation with her ghost and actually do our job?
Because sometimes it's important to know how and why you do things. Just shut up and let us finish.
I know how to do my work. In case you've forgotten, Cecil, I'm not the one who's squeamish when it comes to doing our job.
Jay, keep going.
Okay. You were going to give this money out. To who? Who were you going to give this money to?
She will look at you for a long time before answering. The outreach program, Gimme Shelter program, the New York City Trust for elderly, Meals on Wheels. It's all my husband's work. Why is it important that you break into my house and tie me up and ask me these questions?
Where is the money coming from?
What do you mean where there's money coming from? It's just money that's been sitting in the dead system that's been travelling around that will get claimed up by corporates or government entities.
Where the money is coming from, I don't care what it's going to be used for. I just care where the money comes from.
It's taxpayer money. People that pay their taxes and it gets rolled into inheritance of people or whatever. This is people's own money that gets stuck in the system, and we found ways of releasing that money, going back into good initiatives.
Cecil will go to Jericho and whisper in his ear, "Could you check if she's lying?"
Well, you see Jericho actually, put his hand out and say, "Die."
And he will be very careful, and he will give the die.
Rub it. Roll it onto the desk. Let's see if the ring of truth doesn't ring true for her words. I assume it will. 2 successes.
It rings true.
Yeah.
And you see Demi standing up and taking the improvised gag and twisting it together as to make one cord out of the 2 handkerchiefs and handing it to Jade, putting one of the ends in one of her hands and one of the ends in the other.
Say we wanted to recreate this method. How would we do it?
She's looking towards you now more intently, and she's like, I don't know everything. I never worked in that. My husband was a specialist lawyer for that. I just worked in, and she's interrupted by the phone ringing.
And
The phone rings, and she jumps slightly.
Demi goes to the phone and picks it up and puts it back down on the floor to end the call. You're not taking that call.
It rings again. It looks like it's attached to an answering machine as well, so it's quite swish looking.
By the way, how can the phone ring if the power's out?
Because power comes from the telephone exchanges.
It's a landline. If it's a portable phone, it has to be plugged in to the wall to work. If it's just one of those older phones that sits on a base and the base plugs into the wall.
Fair enough. Okay, I got it. Demi traces the cable of that goes into the phone and rips it out of the wall.
No! He Cecil jumps and grabs the cord before it's ripped out. I want to hear, and he points to the answering machine.
No, I want to do my job. Okay.
Yes, this is part of your job. Wait for us.
Our job. Cecil and Demi pulls out his knife and cuts the cord. It is not our job to question the ways of fate. It is our job to enforce the ways of fate.
And he will go straight to Demi and go like, Shiva tells, Shiva teach, work is life, life is work. If a life is poisoning the wheel, a work is poisoning the wheel. We must learn of this job and end it.
We have a mysterious benefactor that usually tells us who to send to the wheel.
Her cell phone rings. It's in her pocket. You can hear it going. Bzz, bzz.
And Demi takes up.
I look at both of you. I grab Demi and say, "That's probably somebody that wants to know that she's well and okay. If somebody's willing to check up on her."
Jericho, like people say over here in America, behold my face when I do not give a fuck. And Demi takes out her phone from her pocket. And
No. He's grabbing him again. He says, "They will come to check up on her, and then that becomes our problem."
And Demi just puts his knife away. Fair enough.
It looks like it's gone to answering machine or answering phone. Yeah.
Okay, I would say let's wait until this thing ends and stops, and then we listen to her message and see who the fuck is calling.
We can do that after she's dead, Hazel.
Okay.
And Demi gestures to
You want to do a bad job? You want to call Jor upon you? Well, fuck you. Do it. And he will just sit on the desk and cross his arms and look at the woman.
And Demi looks at Jade and gestures to her to put the noose around her neck. Well, Jade, you want to be one of us? You do our job. Send her to the wheel.
What? What do you mean?
Cecil will grab that woman with the gloves and make her look at them. Look at me. Just concentrate into my eyes. Just listen to my words. Okay?
I want to see my daughter again, and my daughters again. Please.
I cannot give you that. I'm sorry.
I need to see them again, just one more time before I go and join my husband.
I will promise by my name. I promise by my blood that they will be fine. I will promise that to you.
The phone starts ringing again in your pocket.
Oh, for the love of the gods,
But
Azazel, stop it, okay?
No, it's important.
And you see Demi putting his hand on Azazel's chest and pushing him away. Caroline MacArthur, by the way of the wheel, by the way of the fates, you are charged with poisoning the way of fate. You shall be sent to another life, where I wish and I hope that you will not do the same mistakes. And he gestures to Jade to strangle her already.
Caroline MacArthur, remember this. Embrace your death. Embrace your husband's death. Learn.
Okay.
And reawaken.
Could everybody but Jade make a perception plus alertness roll. Difficulty 9.
Perception alertness. Fair enough.
I'm spending one willpoint.
Same here. Same here, spending one willpower as well.
Oh my god, I got 3 successes without the willpower point. That with the willpower point, it make it 4.
1, 2, 3 successes with the willpower.
Just 2.
This cannot be happening.
Okay. As Demi utters his quite chilling sentence of death towards Caroline MacArthur, and Azazel says his own words, "Those of you with 3 successes, through against all odds, and through the slits in the blinds that have been pulled down, upon the back of Jade, and then onto the back of the chair is a single red dot." Can we all make an initiative roll, please?
Good old initiative roll
that's
against
it.
Vipers.
Oh shit. I'm gonna have to go grab my power cord.
It's Dex plus Wits plus 1d10, right?
Yes, it is.
This put me on 15, and I need to take a little bathroom break before we start killing shit. It's killing us.
7.
And we interrupt this broadcast for commercials.
7 and 5 is 12?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I will be right back. I'm going to grab my power cord.
Tired of your mundane life? Tired of your neighbors? They might be aberrations to the will. Come join the Death Mages. Call here, now.
For all your electrical needs required, dealt with. Spiritual advice.
Whew, I'm back.
Have you washed your hands?
Yes, I always wash my hands.
Okay. Let's see for our initiatives there. So we have a 12 and 9, 15.
Do 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 do. Na 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 na.
Why every time we want to kill someone this happens?
It didn't happen last time.
Hey, let the man have his fun, okay? Let him throw whatever he's got at us.
Enough.
Hopefully I'm not gonna die this time. As well. Come on, Hades. I've been a good boy. I've been supplying you with souls. Don't ask for mine.
Yes, as for Hayes, he deserves to die.
Yep.
I think the first part of this I can describe anyway. Before with the return of Heather. The first thing that you do notice, though, apart from this, it starts to register in your mind a red dot on the back of a chair. Can mean any number of things. But you do hear shattering of glass. Sound.
Oh god.
And the head of our lovely Caroline MacArthur taking, jolting forward violently.
With all due respect, Will, I hate you right now.
Kill spiel?
You stole a kill from us.
I'm gonna die.
And by the way, how could he shoot her in the head while Jade's right behind her? Because if we might be picturing this differently, but if it's how I pictured it, that bullet should have gotten through Jade's spine as well.
You're picturing it perfectly.
Oh,
Ouch.
Okay, basically, I will place the same question to you. How did we put to sleep a whole house?
He's not in the. Okay.
So just to reiterate then, and what Dem Deming was asking, a red light shines through. The head of Caroline MacArthur jerks forward. Yes, Jade is standing directly behind her.
Oh god. Yeah, I get it now. Okay. Shit.
Okay, so you can react according to your initiatives, please.
We're going from highest to lowest, or how are we going to do this?
I think it would be best in this case. I'm not so worried about it. Is the people with the highest initiative will get to make the decision of acting first, and they'll be to take control of the narration.
I will be checking upon Jade, and if she has a wound, putting pressure on the wound.
Okay, so you've the highest initiative, is that right?
Yeah, I'm on 15.
You rush over to Jade. Jade, make a perception plus, let's see, medicine roll.
Okay. This is why I always put 1 point in medicine, because I got squat on this roll.
You can't see any entry wounds in her back.
Okay, there is at least some blood on her.
Not that you can see at all.
Okay, I will use the rest of my turn to be flabbergasted at this. Thank you.
The next person to act would be Jericho, I believe.
Okay. Jericho goes ahead and sees the impact. Quite disturbed by the impact. He's gonna go ahead and go prone. He's gonna drop to the floor. He's gonna look around himself, the entire room. Just do a quick check. Okay, D is over there, AA is over there, JA is over there. Just do a quick scan of the room, making sure that he realizes where everybody is.
Everybody appears to be where they are standing, just a few moments, with the exception of your comrade in arms that seems to have rushed forward and then be looking at Jade, who appears to be quite happily standing.
Okay. Once I've done that quick check, I think my next action will be to go ahead and stay crouch, stay low to the ground, as I will have to check up on the children. Oh, God.
Jade, your action.
Jade, the bullet went through her spine, yeah?
No.
Or through her back?
You seem to, all you stood there would be to see for a moment a red light appear, and then you can hear there shattering of glass, 2 thip sounds, and then what appears to be the head of Caroline MacArthur violently shaking forward and now slumping on the desk. Blood is starting to leak out profusely from her head. You do not feel any pain whatsoever.
Jade is going to check herself over and just kind of wonder how the hell she doesn't feel like she's in pain. And it look for blood, anything that should be there.
With no roll needed, you find yourself not suffering from any wound whatsoever. Your clothes are in order, and there's no holes in your chest or your back or your spine. However, you do notice as you turn around, there is a red dot on your chest.
Yeah. This is one of the reasons Jericho went down.
You still have a bit of an action.
Yeah, Jade's just gonna drop to the floor.
You do.
You could pull me, right? Thank you.
If you're holding on to her, yeah, you're probably going down with her.
Thank you, darling.
And Demi, your action.
Dimmy's just gonna rush to the desk and take his gun and just blindly shoot at where he believes the shooter might be on the other side of the window.
Okay, what gun do you have?
Desert Eagle, which is a semi-automatic
Fucking hell.
pistol.
Okay. So you have a hand cannon, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so you pull your Desert Eagle and you go bang, bang, bang outside through the window. The glass shatters and smashes in turn. Tinkle, tinkle, tinkle. Randomly shooting. Let's have a look. How many shots do you put through?
Well, it says here that it fires at the rate of 3 bullets per turn.
We can ignore that. If you wish to empty the entire clip, you may.
I'm actually gonna go with just 3 bullets. Because it has 7 bullets in it plus 1 on the barrel, so that's a total of 8 bullets, and I might not want to waste them.
Okay, 1, 2.
Seeing as I think of myself as such a good shooter that I didn't decide on packing extra ammo.
You unload 3 bullets through the window towards where you think a shooter could be.
Do I get a roll for them?
Considering you're firing in a general direction and you can't actually see anybody standing there, I don't think you'll need a roll.
Fuck.
Do you still wish to do that action? Because in fact I didn't describe the fact there is nobody standing outside if you look through the window.
Well, seeing as the window is shattered, if the bullet didn't pierce the blinds would still be on, or at least enough of the blinds would be on, and for the way my character is, it's a reflexive action, so I'm gonna keep this action because fuck, a bullet went through that window. I'm gonna shoot it. Hopefully hitting something in the other direction.
That's fine. You do notice as you unload your 3 bullets how very, very small the entry fractures are in the glass, and how they appear to have the holes themselves appear to be sitting perfectly between 2 of blinds. You unload, bang, 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 and the next thing you can hear is muffled screams and crying from another room in the house.
And you hear Dimmy just saying, "Oh fuck," the second muffled screams start being heard.
And we won't operate via initiative anymore. What is your next actions, please?
Jericho's next action, as declared previously, is to stay low and see if he can't find the children again. Oh, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, Azazel will just make his little thingy-majiggy with entropy to make himself harder to hit and then follow Jericho.
I might want to, do that as well. Oh god, oh god, oh god,
Yes!
oh god, oh god.
One success!
You see Jericho go ahead and
Oh, sorry, 2 successes.
notched sticks and goes ahead and waves it before they're frantically by his side and put it back into his magic mirror bag. Oh, please, please.
Okay.
1 success.
Jade?
Jade will follow them also.
You're coming out the front room. Okay, so you're all crawling out the study on your hands and legs, which is a very, very good idea. And Demi, what are you up to?
Live sight.
Okay, make
To
your
see if
life.
I can see any shooters. 1, 2, 3 successes.
Okay, so you throw life sight on. You cannot see any life force that would be in the areas where the shot would take place.
You hear Demi saying, "Oh fuck," again. And as he follows the rest of his party.
The party leave the front room in earnest and the bleeding corpse of the poor woman Caroline MacArthur, and you arrive into the sort of the secondary lounge area where 2 young girls are tied, bound, and gagged are freaking out. Because A, they're tied, bound, and gagged in a lounge and not in their bedroom, and B, they've all been woken up by 3 very large bangs.
I look at AA and simply say, calm them down. We need to make an exit now.
I agree, and he will just drag himself to one of the childs, grab them, pat them on the back. Shh, everything will be alright, everything will be alright. I'm going to take you and your sisters out of here. And he will motion with his head to Jade to grab the other children, the other twin sister.
Jade will grab the other girl, and just follow Azazel.
Jericho's going to go ahead and have a quick pick outside and look at the route from where they came in to the car where they need to go.
It's a wonderful open space garden and then a very large, very, very unoccupied road.
I look to Demi and I say, where do we think the shooter came from?
I can't see anything. There is no source of life around.
What do you mean there's no source of life? There's us.
Except us, I meant. So unless you have remote-controlled bullets in your pocket, the shot came from nowhere. Or actually no one.
Jericho's going to go ahead and do a quick guesstimate on how long it would take each one of them to run from the front door to the car, and how many turns it would take. How long are they going to be exposed like that?
Straight from the doorway, since you parked right outside the house, it'll be 1 turn.
And Demi looks at his party. Are we getting out of here?
Like fuckers. This was clearly an assassination, and not one of ours.
Let's add some spice to the mix. And you can see Demi pulling out his knife and just saying to the party, "I'll be right back," and heading back to the room where Caroline's corpse is.
Okay, so we'll cut straight to you then, Demi, in that case. You run into the study area again, where the body of Caroline MacArthur is now laying. Blood is starting, has pulled its way across the table and is starting to drip, drip, drip on the side of
Quick
the
question: is there a carpet in the study?
Yes, it is.
Is it large enough to be able to cover, as in roll up Caroline's body in it?
It's not one of those types of carpets. It's well fit. It's a fitted carpet. So yes, there is enough space if you start cutting the edges and then rolling that bit up. Yeah,
Just so I get this straight, it's pinned down in the corners, or it's literally glued to the floor?
it'll be pinned down in the corners. Yeah.
Fair enough. Then Dim is gonna rush towards Caroline's body, cut this whatever he used to tie her down with, put the body in the carpet, try and roll up the carpet. Notice the fact that the carpet won't budge, and basically puts his knife underneath between the carpet and the floor and just goes around the edge as to dislodge the carpet.
Okay.
Rolls Caroline's body into the carpet, puts it on his shoulder, and gets back to his party.
So I'm foreseeing that taking a good 5 or 6 minutes. Are you doing that?
Fair enough.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Does he have the keys to his own? He does have the keys to his own fucking car. God damn it! Okay. I look to. I'm gonna actually go ahead and interrupt this. I'm gonna go ahead and scream my ass over and say, "What are you doing? We have to go now."
I need this, and it's not just because it's a nice carpet.
Jericho doesn't argue with him for too much longer as he goes back to where the other group is. I don't know why, but we're gonna be stuck here for another 5 minutes.
Remind me to punch him later.
Your common sense alarms are tingling, Austin.
Yes. Fuck. I go ahead and rush over to fucking. I go ahead and say quite plainly to Demi, they are coming. They are coming now. If you waste any more time on this body, we are leaving you.
If we survive this, and you leave me alone in a house with shooters, and I manage to drag my half-alive ass to the chantry, you're gonna meet my wrath. And the wrath of my whole fucking family.
Jericho,
Azazel will just scream at the two of his brothers.
Jericho goes ahead and takes one of his own knives out and helps the work.
Oh shit. What the two of you are doing? Come on! And he's hiding the child, whispering to his ear, looking at Jade and how she's handling the child.
Jade is she looks about like the kid does, really freaked out, kind of pale. She looks a little woozy.
I continue to tell Nimi, they are coming, they are coming, they are coming, they are coming.
I heard. Stop fucking with my brains while I'm working.
Okay, so you're going to wrap the body up in a carpet.
Yep.
And take it with you?
Yep.
I go ahead and yell at you, there's not enough room for that.
We can fit it in. I need that body.
Continuing the work, but I'm continuing to argue with you. This is bad, this is terrible, this is a terrible idea.
No one asked for your opinion, Jericho.
5 minutes go past, and you cut what appears to be a large enough part of the carpet and lift it up. It could cover the body barely.
And Timmy takes the rolled up body in the rug, puts it on its shoulder. proceeds to the exit and the rest of his party.
Can you take a bullet?
Who,
We are
me?
going to find out.
Yes. If you can, you're going first.
I can take a couple.
Then on your mark.
You can see Dimi putting both hands on the carpet on his shoulder and kind of fixing his feet down as professional runners do, though he's not one, and looking straight to the car. Dex athletics to run away.
You make a dex athletics roll, please. Yeah.
Will, one question.
Mm-hmm.
How much force is needed to create a current of wind? 3, 2,
Create a current wind. You'll need
or
forces.
just push the wind, the existing wind in a direction?
Forces to.
Forces 2.
Oh, God. Thank you.
Two successes on my Dex athletics roll.
Okay, so you bow-legged carry this body on your shoulders, wrapped in a carpet, at best speed at about minute 6 or 7 after 3 gunshots have gone off towards your car. Is that right? Okay. You get to the car, and the first thing that you notice in the side of the car is a single bullet hole. I assume you start shoving the poor body of the late Mrs. MacArthur in the back of your car.
Yes, and while doing that, yelling to the rest of our party, "Move your fucking asses!"
Yeah.
I say so. We'll look at Jade. Stay low, grab the child. If something happens to you, if something happens to me, that's okay. Nothing can happen to these girls. And he will look at the door and...
You'll kindly make a Dex athletics roll, please.
Yes, and I will spell my will.
If someone botches, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
Why? Why would you say that?
Oh, 1, 2. And the willpower, that makes it 2. Oh, my willpower is going away so slowly.
Look who's talking.
Jericho is not going next. Jericho is waiting for Jade to go ahead.
Jade is taking off running and I'm gonna spend a willpower on this.
So much willpower on one scene.
I know.
Because fuck-ups are really fuck-ups for the mages.
2 successes with the willpower.
Okay.
Jericho goes ahead. I'm gonna die. Runs. You know, just after... Just willpower, whatever. I'm gonna die. 4. Holy crap.
You'll make it to the car.
Jumping in. I'm looking to my fellows to make sure they take care of the bodies as I go ahead and just jump in.
Drive!
And Dimi just starts the car and steps on the gas, heading to the Crusades bar, the bar of the Celestial Choir. The only way to contact them, as he knows so far.
Okay.
All the while, Jericho is making prayers to himself for safe passage for this particular vessel. Oh, dear Morgan, please do not visit your wrath on these 3 foolish souls this morning.
I would like every single one of you to roll 1 fate dice. That's the dice with the plus on it, by the way.
Ooh.
Okay, everyone at the count of 3. Okay? Oh, okay. Yeah, already. So that's screw you.
Fuck.
Ah, God!
I have no idea what that is.
I don't know what that means.
Okay. The blank ones are indeterminate. The minus ones aren't so good, and the positive ones are okay.
Okay, fair enough.
Wonderful.
Oh my.
Horrible things.
Oh god. Oh god.
If none of us dies in this scene, I consider myself successful.
Austin, you remember that earlier we were talking about different kind of fuck up? This is Russia in winter. This is Russia in winter.
Just we have a magical murder bat for reasons. It has a
However,
health kit in there as well as some other stuff.
I also roll a negative there. So what actually happens as you start driving up towards the on the horizon, you put your feet straight to the pedal, straight to the metal, accelerate your car off. A horde of police cars swarm on the horizon as you're still accelerating towards them. There are 4, 5, 6 cars. SWAT van comes after it, and you can hear a distinct sound of a helicopter in the distance. And they all whiz past you, whoosh, 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 by as they're screaming down towards that house, as they don't notice your car accelerating away at top speed. Well, they don't stop for your car.
I'm going to go ahead and bless Morgan at the moment.
And you'll hear Demi with his hands clutched on the wheel, just trying to go as fast as that car can. Make him lose us, make him lose us, make him lose us, make him lose us!
I cannot perform miracles quite yet, as Jericho is just simply continuing to pray for safe passage.
Okay. Azazel will just grab his D6 back again. Look at the heavens, please, Carly, please, if you love me, if you support me, if whatever, please! And I will roll for increasing our chances of getting away without being that scene.
Okay.
Yes, I think we all want to avoid that scene right now. That's what Jericho's thinking in his head.
2 successes!
Oh, if you need me to roll, I'll go ahead and roll willpower as well, because I needed it. I didn't get any successes beside the willpower.
Yeah, it's not difficulty 4. Like,
You get out of Westchester. Helicopters are screaming overhead. You can see a news helicopter there now, and a sort of hovering in the distance. And it's probably down to connecting into sort of the western part of New York City proper, where your car engine, it seems to have been running on faith, seems to be overtaxing itself a bit, so you start to stall a bit as you're driving, and every single time when the engine has to tick over, it's like 1,000 years before the engine starts again and you roll off. Where are you planning to go?
The Crusades, the chorister bar.
yeah, we need to drop the kids.
Okay. When was the last time that you were at the Crusades?
3 or 4 months ago, give or take.
Okay. Do you remember any of the people there in that bar?
Yeah, eidetic memory. I remember Mother Mary.
Okay. You head towards the destination where you want to go. And for some unknown reason, despite the fact there is a bullet lodged into the engine block of your car, it still keeps on going, keeps on trucking, so the fates are smiling upon you this day, despite the fact that you have 2 young red-headed daughters, 2 young red-headed girls tied and gagged and bound in the back of your car.
And their mother dead in a carpet.
And a dead mother in a carpet who's
And
bleeding
a
all
very
over your floor.
horrified apprentice.
And everybody else seems to be slightly concerned as you arrive.
Oh, yours, Jimmy. Your turn.
Timmy gets out of the car and goes to the Crusades bar, which is closed, I presume.
It's late evening, so you probably get sort of it open up early for like cleaning staff and preparation for the night.
So there might be noises inside, but it's not properly opened up yet.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it's not none of the sort of the pumps are on yet, so nobody can get any drinks, and they won't be serving any bottled drinks until the place is in full swing.
Okay, then Timmy just goes and knocks on the door with his fist so he can be heard.
It doesn't take more than a few moments before some sort of young person that you don't recognise sort of opens the door and goes, "I'm sorry, sir, we're closed right now. You come back in a couple of hours, be open."
Timmy just looks at her and, I need to talk with Mother Mary.
The kid looks at you and goes, "Who?"
Mother Mary, she works here, older, and she describes her to the best of his ability, which I don't have out of character.
I'm sorry, sir. I think you've got the wrong establishment. Nobody here by that name or that description works here or owns a place.
And you see Timmy just slapping his forehead with his palm. Oh, for fuck's sake, come on.
The owner of this place is Mr. Michael Barrowman. I'm not too sure he would know much about him either. This person either.
Did this club change ownership in the past months?
No, sir. This place has been owned by Mr. Barrowman for about a couple of years now.
If I say Celestial Choir to you, does that ring any bells?
No, sir. Sounds like some kind of character class.
Jimmy just pulls out his coin, tosses it into the air, calling upon the fates to see if the kid's lying or not.
Can I make a roll for me, please?
No fucking successes. And I'm thinking that the coin just falls into his palm and gets lodged between his fingers, being neither heads nor tails.
Yes, it's.
He puts the coin back into his pocket and goes back to the car. Okay, any other ideas to get hold of the choristers? Because apparently they're not here.
Oh,
That's not a concern right now. The concern is getting to a safe house. I assume you have one.
The gentleman asks, looking as you throw the coin in your air, "Are you all right, sir?" Looking at your hand, which you do notice there are flecks of blood all over it.
If he takes Demi's left hand, it still has the cut mark on it that he did earlier.
You do you need a bandage for that, sir?
No, I can walk it off. Work accident.
Ah, I got you. Hey. Look, sir, if you need a drink, then this place is open in a couple of hours. You're always welcome to come back.
I need to talk to someone that works here, and apparently you don't know what I'm talking about, so I might as well leave.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help you further, sir.
Demi goes back to the car. Okay, how do we contact the choristers? Fuck the safe haven. We need to go take the kids to a safe place. We can handle ourselves. We're full-grown mages, for God's sake.
And of course, there's always the people that we know.
Do you know any choristers?
Didn't one come by the Diogenes Club a while ago?
Can't contact her right now, though she wouldn't even trust me with these two. I'm telling you people that we have our own secret place that we can store, and I hate to use that word because you guys are complete assholes about this and didn't call ahead, store the children.
Hey, I'm
Well,
not an asshole.
What are you talking about?
Okay. I hate to say this. I know you hate them. I know you hate them. And he looks at Jay. I know you were one of them, but we need to go to the Hermetics.
No.
I'm not leaving the kids on the hands of the Hermetics.
Oh, then we are taking the kids to the Temple of the Wheel, the grand fucking casino of the Death Mages.
We are doing exactly that, and I would ask you to lower your voice.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, let them be brainwashed by the Hermetics and have Vicky's wrath upon us, or Edwin's wrath, or Sam's wrath, or whoever's wrath upon us, or drag them to a casino, which is not exactly the best place for children.
Let's take them to the monks, the wushu monks.
No. We're not dealing with the fucking Akashics.
Demi, as Cecil, we have very, very few options right now. We need to take these packages that are very, very special to us, and we need to make sure that they are safe. The only place that we know of right now, off the top of our head, happens to be within our own people. We are taking
Okay,
them to our own people.
we can do one thing. Sorry. Jade, you still have your phone, right?
Yeah, it's a new one though. Why?
Can you call Edwin? He knows everything in this fucking city. He's bound to know where the choristers are.
I can try. I don't know if he'll answer though.
Give him a fucking call. It's a life or death situation.
She'll pull her phone out and she'll call the Diogenes Club.
The club itself? Or
She's trying to get Edwin on his number.
Nobody answers.
I'm looking to my 3 accomplices here in what appears to be a murder and the kidnapping of 2 small children, and simply telling them, I'm going to be leaving this car, and I am going to the nearest subway station.
Jade is going to hit redial and try to again.
Okay.
Unless you two can provide me with a solution right now, I am walking away. I have done my duty for the wheel.
You are not walking away.
Shut
one
the
is walking
fuck
away.
up, Jericho.
No
Shut
one-
the fuck up and do your job.
And you too, Demi. Shut the fuck up. No one is walking away.
Nobody
Someone-
answers the phone.
Someone
Jade-
wanted that woman dead. Someone that was not we. And we have her children's now. We are taking the children's to the wheel. We are calling from the wheel temple to the club. We are putting these kids in a safe place, and then we're tracking this fucking bastard and uncovering the whole fucking truth of it. Because someone killed her, and it wasn't ours. And that was one of our tricks.
I hate
Someone
to
with
admit
our tricks.
Hassan, I hate to admit it, we need help, and if it's someone that Vic is gonna throw her wrath upon, it's gonna be me, so might as well ask the Hermetics. And
Demi?
Demi just starts the car and starts driving off to the Diogenes Club, completely ignoring everything.
Nope. As soon as I see a subway station, I look to you and simply say, call Remy. Call your own goddamn fucking people. I'm out.
Jericho, don't do this for the wheel. I'm asking as a friend here for your help. I promised that woman though, to take care of her children.
And
I cannot leave them. And I'm sure that you also want to know what the fuck happened there and what is going on here. The husband is dead, the mother is dead. Yes, they were poisoning the wheel, but it's not them. It was them, and at the same time it wasn't them.
I look to
I'm
Demi and
sure.
I say, Demi, Go to your own people. Call Remy. He is going to help you. None of the Hermetics are going to help you with this business. This business is dirty. Very dirty.
He's right. I hate to say it. He's right.
And Demi continuing to drive off. I'm going to the only place where I can find people that have any idea where the choristers are. I'm not planning on leaving the kids to the Hermetics, but the Hermetics are the only people that are strong enough in this goddamn city to give us a fucking idea of what we're facing. And I owe Sam a debt of letting her know what the fuck's happening. Okay?
Demi,
I'm
do you
not dragging children into the temple.
Demi, you do not trust your own people? You don't trust the Chantry? Fine. But I do. I'm going to them. Lay me out.
Nope. Be my guest. If you want to go and take a subway, take a subway. I'm not stopping the car.
Stop the car.
Nope.
Stop the car.
Cecil will grab Jade and whisper to his ear, maybe you, me, and the kids would be fine in the back of the on the wagon. Come with me. And he will pull slowly away. This is not going to end well. Listen to me. Come, lovely apprentice.
Jericho currently has his hand on the handle.
Demi's not stopping.
Okay. Fair enough. Jump out.
Cecil is making the chance of the door not opening greater.
Make a stamina roll, please, Jericho.
Yep.
Oh, I wanted to keep that door closed. God damn it.
Rolling. Ooh, nice.
Okay, so you leap out of the car onto the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest that this would be 5 levels of bashing damage.
Ow.
Sounds good. Jericho goes ahead and simply leaves the car, but leaves the car in such a fashion that he's going to meet the curb, which is a fairly proud member. He goes ahead and ducks out. He goes ahead and does a few rolls against the concrete, actually busts his head against the curb just a tiny little bit, holds his head just a little bit. Urgh. He looks over himself, brushes himself off. Oh, for Christ's sakes. Looks around, see if he can't find a little corner to disappear in, and make his way away.
Without any problems at all, I believe you'll be able to exit the scene.
Alright, cool. I'll go ahead and keep the recording on since I'm hosting the call. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Alright. Sorry about that. I gotta take care of something.
What the fuck did they just do?
The door sort of opens, a Jericho-shaped person flew out of it, and then the door sort of slams shut again. All in sort of one swift motion as you're having a conversation with him. Staring at the door for a while.
You could see Demi legitimately as the 2 people in the back. What the fuck did that idiot do?
He got up. He did a tuck and roll, and he's going to pick himself up off the pavement, and he's going to walk to a subway station.
And then we are going to see him back at the temple, and he will look at Jade and go like, I, Cecil Assam, member of the Chakravanti House of the Eutanatoi, I welcome you, sister.
Thank you.
And he will look at Demi, she fucking earned it.
Close, but not yet.
You're close. You're close. Keep up, Jade. Keep up.
You see Demi driving off to the Diogenes Club.
Okay. You arrive at the club. Its wardings still allow you to go through and park outside.
Demi goes right next to the door and starts knocking on the door.
One of the staff members will open the door for you. And without word or further ado, will allow you to enter the club.
Dimmy goes straight to Edwin's office and knocks at the door.
There is no response.
He continues to knock.
Continues to be no response.
Oh, for fuck's sake, and Dimmy just storms out of the club, gets into the car. You can see his face completely disappointed and drives to the temple.
If you want to make if you do want to make an intelligence plus occult roll before you do that.
Intelligence, occult. Okay, fair enough. Difficulty?
6, please.
1, 2 successes.
This place is well protected magically and is protected from intrusion, so you do have the opportunity to protect yourselves here temporarily.
Fair enough. Dimmy's gonna go into the car and drive to the temple. Because he doesn't like the Hermetics.
No one likes the Hermetics. Not even the Hermetics like other Hermetics.
You arrive at the Temple of the Wheel. Business is starting to pick up as you would expect it to. It's probably bordering about 7 or 8 o'clock by now, if not a little bit later. Clubs are starting to open up.
And Dimmy just parks his car next to one of the back doors and takes out the carpet and heads to one of the back rooms.
Cecil will grab Jade and go like, "You come with me," and he will take her and the kids to one of the maze-like entrances and turn to her and go like, "Never, ever lose me or any other member of the temple inside these corridors. If that happens, I wish you the best of luck getting out."
She nods and she actually grabs Azazel by the shirt so she doesn't lose him.
He looks at her, puts the kid in the other hand, grabs her by the hand. "We are civilized people, after all," and he starts walking.
Okay, so I just have a reality check here. Are we taking the 2 young children with us?
Yeah.
And what about the body?
Oh,
Dimmy's taking the body to one of the back rooms. One of the back rooms that people don't usually enter or inquire about. And that potentially has a table or a surface that's flat enough and long enough to actually unravel the body and examine it up close.
Okay. And the children, what do you plan to do with those?
taking them back to one of the staff kitchen, so maybe they can be fed with something. No, forget it. I'm taking them straight to the top rooms, closing it for business matters, and keeping him there with Jade.
Okay, so there's 2 separate scenes here. I think we should run, and I'd like to end
Yes.
this scene here now, and we can run them separately.
All right, that's quite fair enough. Want to give us a nice little outro there, Will?
I certainly would love to give you an outro. How the cause of fate seems to smile upon us in one moment and then turn against us the next. But there are more mysteries that are open here now, and more questions that need answering. Who was it that took that shot with such precise accuracy? Who was it that made that telephone call to first the phone and then the cell phone? Why were the choristers not present where they expected to be? Why was Edwin not in his office? Why the fuck would you need to cut up a poor carpet in order to carry dead body?
And that, we end our scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We will see you again next time. Bye.